Talk a little bit more about the weight of the gift, though.
Ooh. Being gifted is heavy, bro. I think I talked to you a lot about this because I didn't realize the weight of responsibility of being gifted. A lot of times, you know, you get into something, I'll speak from personal experience about me even speaking or being a leader in a youth or young adult ministry.
The leader.
uh, I didn't realize how weighty it is, and even my leaders who I picked,
Structure.
they're telling me how weighty it is. Like, yo, it's crazy. And it's because when God calls and requires more of you, it gets a little different, you know, and different meaning um, things more is required of you, more consistency, more devotion, right? Your prayer time increases, right? The warfare increases, right? Things are different. Like it's almost like there's a target on your back, and it's like now what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And then so like how do you respond in those situations? Like you can't respond the same way, right? You can't do certain things, and it's not like it's a limiting thing. It's more so like I'm aware of the influence and the responsibility that I have, so I want to steward this well, and it's not out of a place of well I can't do this anymore. It's more so like, man, I people are looking at me. I'm responsible for others, and so now it's what you gonna do with that influence? How are you gonna steward that? And it's different. It's different, bro. Um, yeah. What about you, bro? What you
No,
think?
I wanna keep driving here, and then I'll respond.
Okay.
Um, you talk about it being weighty. You're responsible to a certain extent
Right.
in terms of what you do in ministry, how you flow in ministry. Um, how would you? What would you say to someone who's feeling that weight, feeling that pressure? What would you say to them to encourage them?
Ooh. I would say lean into it because it's making you. It's making you into who God called you to be. And I know that sounds real deep and churchy, but for real, you are already equipped with everything you need to do exactly what you've been asked to do, right? And so I would encourage you to continue to be and continue to grow, continue to, you know, be flexible to the spirit, right? Continue and I would say lean into it. Do what you know what to do. Like get into your prayer time. Get closer to God. Get closer and spend more time with Him. You know what I mean? Because out of that time, out of that relationship you have, comes a whole lot of clarity, and it lifts some of that weight off of you. Because a lot of times the weight that you are carrying, it is some of that weight is not even yours. It's not even for you to carry. God is supposed to help you carry all of that. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, we feel like we have to do it on our own. So I'll say, cast your cares, right? Because it is heavy, it is weighty. Get closer to God, and then build some community around you. People who can speak into your life, some people that can understand the weight that you are carrying, and can hold your arms up, Aaron. Hold your arms up because it gets weighty, it gets tough, but you are built to do it. That's what I would say.
That's good, bro. That's
Yeah,
good.
man,
Y'all just peeping into a conversation that we have all the time. So,
for sure.
what I think is important to get out of everything that he just said, in terms of dealing with the weight and the thing. So you asked my perspective of it, right? So I give that. I think it is a weight, but at the same time, it's perspective. At the same time, for me, life is perspective.
Ooh.
It's about how you view certain things, how you view uh, what is happening around you. There's a different lens that you look at life from when you become a believer, in a sense, right? There should be. right? As you're molded into the image of Christ, right? We won't get into that today. We'll have to come back. But what I wanted to highlight in that is that it is weighty, but the thing that keeps me going and the thing that I constantly try to remind myself is, excuse me, did it not get weighty for Jesus to bear that cross?
My God.
Was it not weighty for him as he's hanging on the cross? Was it not weighty being in the Garden of Gethsemane, knowing what I'm about to endure? That his sweat became like drops of blood, right? Was that not weighty?
Jeez.
But at that same time, he thought about you. He thought about me. He thought about you listening. He thought about all of us and said, that's a weight I'm willing to bear, right? Father, take this cup from me, but nonetheless, your will, right? Let that be done. So as we're molded into that image of Christ, 2 Corinthians 3:18, but we all with unveiled face, beholding as in a mirror the glory of the Lord, are being transformed into the same image from glory to glory, just as by the Spirit of the Lord. Being molded into the image, being shaped into the image, transformed into the image of Christ. It's going to get weighty. It's going to be, in this life you will face trials of many kinds, right? Like that's a byproduct of greatness. That's a byproduct of going through, right? Of getting to something that is greater than yourself. It's a byproduct. I can't get oil unless I'm crushed.
It's good, bro.
Right? I can't become a diamond unless you put heat to me, right? No pressure, no diamonds. It's the same thing with us, right? So going through that is just understanding that we're being molded and shaped into the image of Christ, and keeping that in hindsight, I think that'll keep you going. And also knowing who I'm responsible for, who's connected to what I'm not walking in, who's connected to what I'm choosing to refrain from, who's connected to what I'm in this moment of flesh, of weakness, of feeling this weight, who is on the other side of me carrying this cross. But we miss that, right? Because Jesus is sovereign. He knows. He knew Clyde, right? Before you even knew him, he knew you, right? So for us, it's a little bit more difficult because we're like, I don't know. But that word, that smile, that thing, right? That podcast, that YouTube channel, that whatever it is on the other side of that. And the thing is, you may never get the like, you may never get the comment, you may never get the Clyde that really touched my life.
That's good.
But on the other side of that, somebody just was about to commit suicide that didn't.
Yeah.
Somebody that's been sleeping on an idea, that's been sleeping on a gift inside of them. It just awoken inside of them. And now, because of your obedience, it's trickled down. And so many more gifts are activated. So many more people are walking in their purpose, walking in confidence of who God has called them to be. Because they say, oh, I remember Clyde. I remember back when Clyde was wilding.
Yeah.
I remember that Clyde.
Yeah.
But now to see this
on
the other side, like, and it also gives them hope. Like, yo, if Clyde can do it, I know I can do this.